Hello everybody, I'm Fabien and welcome back to Fab Motorbikes. So it's that time of year again for me where I need to get my bike MOT tested. So what I thought I would do today is run you through a few tests that I run my bike through before I go and get it tested officially to make sure everything's okay and I don't waste any time or money. And for those of you that don't know, perhaps you don't live in the UK, the MOT test is the Ministry of Transport test that your vehicle has to pass every year. It basically ensures that you meet the minimum safety requirements for your vehicle to be allowed on the public highway. It also includes some emissions tests, which obviously I can't do a quick pre-test from home. Now, some motorcyclists find getting the MOT done on their bike a bit of a cause for anxiety, but honestly, if you like and enjoy keeping your bike well maintained, you should fly through without any issues. So without further ado, let's get going on our pre-MOT test from home to make sure everything runs smoothly. When doing this, I like to start from the ground up. So number one on this is tires. So here you're looking for a number of things, mainly it's tread depth. The legal minimum you could have is 1 millimeter across the center 3/4 of the tire. So just with the bike on the center stand, look around. You can also get a stick it in there and then measure. There are also special gauges you can get. So keep looking across the whole tire, front and back. But one way to check this out quite quickly, which isn't quite as accurate as using a specific measuring tool, is to look at these wear bars here. If the rest of your tire, the main part of the tire that hits the ground most of the time, gets level with these wear bars, you will not pass your MOT. As you can see, my tires are definitely not new, but they're within spec and still safe. You'll also need to inspect the sidewall of the tire, which is this section here, typically the bit that doesn't touch the ground. Just look all the way around, look for tears, any rips, anything stuck in there. Just have a good look around. If there are any tears or rips, you will not pass your MOT and you really do need new tyres. And of course, repeat that process for the rear tyre too. Now in my rear tyre, I have a plug, as you can see here. If you have one of these, you will still pass, but as these are supposed to be temporary measures, it will show up on the MOT certificate. Now I'll be honest, I do not condone leaving these plugs in your tyres for 2 years like I have. They're supposed to be just temporary fixes, but I spent a lot of money on the tyre and I got a puncture immediately and I was annoyed. So I plugged it and it hasn't leaked for 2 years. As I say, I do not condone this, but if you want the tyre puncture repair kit that I got that did such a great job, link in description. So number 2 on the list is brakes. Give them a good inspection. Ensure your brake discs are not too thin or heavily scored. Mine feel pretty much brand new. Now next up is brake pads. You may not know what you're looking at here, but there, just in the light, is a brake pad. And what you're looking for is that little dark section cut out in the brake pad. That is a wear mark. If you cannot see that little dark cutout on the pad, your pads are too low and you will not pass your MOT. Of course, also when it comes to the MOT test, they'll do a general braking efficiency test. I mean, you will know if your brakes are not good enough to pass the MOT, and if they're not, you really shouldn't be out on the road. So next up is testing the wheel bearings. Now your wheel should not be able to move in any direction of any kind other than spinning like this. What you need to do is get your wheel off the ground like this and give it a good shake in every direction. So that means like that, up and down, and you should have zero play. Mine is solid. All it does is spin as it should. And of course, do the same for the rear. The next step on the list to test is suspension. You don't need to do anything hugely complicated. Basically, this involves bouncing the front and rear end up and down, looking for good resistance, good rebound, and on the front forks, making sure there are no oil leaks. The front end there was a little bouncy, but it will get through the test, I think. I'm pretty sure this bike is due an fork oil change, so that's probably what it could be. And as I said, you want to check the front forks to see if there's any oil leaks. These look very good, light misting, but it's fine. So next I want to look at the chain. Is it still tight on the sprocket? Yes. Is your rear axle towards the end of its adjustment? Which on mine it's not, there's plenty of room there. Give it a spin, make sure it's well adjusted. Look for any binding links and just review the general condition of the chain. In my case, there is a bit of surface rust which won't really come off. So that could give me a just an advisory on my MOT certificate. So next up is lights. I'll start with the headlights. Now at the MOT test, they will test the general angle of your lights. It's very difficult to do that from home. Generally they're preset to be perfect on motorcycles, especially faired versions like this. But you just want to be checking the operation and make sure your bulbs haven't gone. Main bulb's fine, and full beam fine as well. You also want to be checking your flashlights, perfect, and your indicators, perfect as well. And of course check your indicators at the back as well. Left is good, right is good. Once again, hazard lights as well, both are great, excellent. And also at the back you want to be checking your rear light, mine's working fine, and also do a quick brake test. I'll do that now. Check the rear brake, fine. Check the front brake, and fine. And finally you want to do some quick checks on the steering. Tilt the bars from left to right, make sure there's no binding of any kind, the cables aren't causing it to stick, and there's no grinding from the top end bearings. You also want to be checking out your headstop bearings in here, along with moving the handlebars as you've just seen, by shaking your forks backwards and forwards and seeing if there's any play. There should be zero. Another set of bearings that are worth checking out are the pivot swing arm bearings that are in here. Easy way to check them in terms of passing the MOT is give your swing arm a good shake, make sure it does not move in any way apart from up and down as it should. So there's a few tests you can do to prepare your bike for your MOT. Hopefully by doing these you will find any niggling issues that you need to get fixed ASAP in order for it to pass. I also need to stress that these things that I've shown you are bare minimum. They do not replace general maintenance. These things here will just get you through the MOT. You need to maintain your bike regularly in order for it to be safe and for it to run correctly. This is a bare minimum just to get you through the MOT test. So my bike's booked for the MOT in a couple of days. I will get back to you then with the results. My predictions are that it will pass. I mean, I've no worries that it will pass, but maybe two advisories. The chain is safe, but looking a little tired, and also that plug in the rear tire could be an advisory as well. But I'll get back to you soon and see what I get. Hello everybody, so I'm back. A few days has passed since I shot the initial part of this video, and I've had my MOT and I have passed with flying colours. So here's the certificate, pass, there's my vehicle, I've covered up my personal details for obvious reasons, mileage and recent history, pass, no advisories whatsoever. So my opinion of my bike is lower than that of the Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency. So what I think here, this is a lesson to be learned here, is you need to be checking up your own bike regularly, doing your own maintenance and really checking up on the safety aspects of the bike, because the MOT is a minimum legal requirement. You need to be doing a lot more. Just passing your MOT is not enough. Do your maintenance, do your checks, stay safe, and subscribe to this channel if you've not done so already. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what the tests are in your country. In the UK it's an annual test, it's called MOT as I said, but what do you need to do? Is there one at all? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.